episode 99. 99 of First Warning Live, where we focus on all things weather. And because it's travel Wednesday, this Wednesday, and Thanksgiving on Thursday, there's probably some great interest in what's going on in other parts of the country, which we will address in this live stream. And it's sponsored by Marco's Pizza. Now, because this is kind of like coincidental that we're hitting the 99th episode tonight, tomorrow is 100, so there's got to be something special that Marco's is throwing out there, and there is. In fact, it's free cheesy bread. 100! Oh, I love it! You mean you're going to give away 99 free cheesy breads? No, we're giving away 100. 100! In fact, if you're watching right now, even if you're watching hours after this has been recorded, because it's live right now at 7:40, you can get one per household, no purchase necessary, if you use the promo code WTKR Cheesy, a celebration, as it were. If you've watched a handful of these live streams, or maybe this is the first one, it's real easy. All you have to do is use the promo code at the checkout, WTKR Cheesy, and boy, it's cheesy and good. And certainly by the time you get tired of turkey, you're going to wish I could have some cheesy bread, because this is good all the way through Saturday. Love it. So the first 100 can have some free cheesy bread. In addition to that, we're giving away free pizza. We give away 22, typically on Thursday, but because it's a holiday, you know what we're doing. We're giving it away on Wednesday. So we're going to give 100 cheesy breads, 22 pizzas, because somebody's going to get a pizza certificate. Isn't that cool? Yeah, all of it's coming in there. I will get more into that in a moment. But I got to get to this other thing. This is the big story. Now that we're getting close to Thanksgiving, a great opportunity to be thankful for all the good things. Something's going to change. It's not one, it's two cold fronts headed our way. So that means tomorrow night, Tuesday night, we're going to have some showers. Nothing heavy, nothing severe. But we might get some rumbles of thunder by the time we hit Wednesday morning. That represents 10 a.m. And so most of the energy will be moving out. But there's another front back across Charleston, West Virginia, and Lexington, Kentucky, and maybe over toward Knoxville. This is the front that's going to reinforce the cold air. And boy, when we go into Thursday itself, the holiday, yes, that's not a misprint. That's snow up here, my friend. That's lake affected or lake enhanced snow coming off of Lake Erie, Lake Ontario. But for us, it's sunshiny and probably roughly about, you ready for this, about 20 degrees colder. So imagine if we could get to 72 degrees on Wednesday, which I think we could do. Imagine if we could only get to 52 on Thanksgiving. That's a 20-degree drop. Oh, and it's going to get even colder at night. It's going to get even colder in the mornings. I'll cover that here in just a few moments. By the way, it's 7:42. If you've got a question, you got a concern, maybe you just are too busy logging on to marcos.com so you can get your free cheesy bread. It is, after all, the first 100 out the door. Showers return after dark tomorrow night into Wednesday. We've covered that. The warming trend pushes us into the lower, possibly mid-70s by midweek on Wednesday, one of the most busiest travel days of the year. And then Thanksgiving, roughly about 20 degrees colder. It is significantly colder, all things told, by the time we hit Thanksgiving. Got a note from Tim Thompson-Jones, although this might be, maybe it's a while ago. I don't know when this was actually posted. But either way, I love it, the fact that she's on Team Snow. Some of you are like, yeah, I'm on Team Snow. Maybe you're on Team Spring. If that's the case, everybody's welcome here. Whether side of the coin that you like, the colder weather, the warmer weather. Taj Brown, I think, was also echoing that thought. He had some of the snowmen emojis in the sled, so some of us probably would like to have some snow. We did get a taste of it, after all, on Veterans Day morning before the sun came up. All right, so we're talking about a much colder Thanksgiving. That is in mostly sunny. You're not going to worry about snow when it does turn cold. But tomorrow, not bad. We should be pushing 70. I've got us at least 68 in the shade in Norfolk. And we're still looking at clouds increasing from a mostly sunny start. By midday, it should be mostly cloudy. And temperatures about 64 at noon, 68 at 4 o'clock. If you're on the call, this would be a great time. It'd be a fantastic opportunity for you to sound off, let me know what you're thinking and what you're grateful for. I can tell you for 100% actual fact, I'm most grateful for, you ready for this? I'm most grateful for you. But the fact that I've done 99 of these, probably wouldn't do it if I was just talking to myself, but some of you watch it, I can see the views. I do appreciate your support since we started this project back in May. And so Marco's has been a great sponsor. I love weather, I love pizza. I figured it was a great marriage. Maybe you do too, because sometimes we get hungry. But I got some notes from you. I got a Taj Brown recent. He wrote this 3 minutes ago. He says, hey, Hey, happy Thanksgiving to you, Taj. Glad that you're here. Who else is on this call? I see Kim is on here. She also wanting to say hello, everybody. This is her recent comment as of today. Very grateful for all of you. Now, I'm going to go back to the maps here as we go back to the forecast here. We take this off and clear the telestrator. It's a multitasking event here. Take my line off the screen. I think that's going to happen there. And then we go back to the maps. Yeah, 68. That's what I expect to find come tomorrow, while some of us actually may nudge 70 degrees. Now, the chance of rain, although it is a little misleading, that 30% will come in after dark. I don't expect it to be something that greets you in the morning. I don't expect it to be greeting you later in the day, but we will find, again, quiet weather for most of tomorrow. And then once we get into, let's say, tomorrow evening, that's when the chance of rain will come in. And a 60% chance on Wednesday is mainly in the morning. The amount of rain isn't really going to make any headlines. I mean, 1/10 of an inch, Cape Charles, Norfolk, Edenton, maybe a little bit less. Maybe in Nags Head, hardly anything measurable suggested there in Nags Head. But you could also see maybe a 1/4 inch around Roanoke and 1/3 of an inch Richmond, Emporia closer to a 1/2 inch potentially. Now, if you're traveling tomorrow, again, the showers that might be developing are coming in from the west, so you see quite a few rain icons. Whether you're traveling or you have family coming into town, that might be why you're watching Pittsburgh's weather. What's keeping them? Why is it taking them so long? Well, they've got a 100% chance of rain in Pittsburgh. Charlotte, 71 degrees, only a 20% chance of rain, and an 80% chance they get some storms in Atlanta tomorrow. So this is something to take into consideration. If you're on the road, Boston should be around 53. So we can animate this, move up to Wednesday. You can see a lot of the rain chances decrease by Wednesday, but it looks like it's quite windy up here in Indianapolis. A little blustery when the high temperature struggles to reach 39 degrees. Charlotte on Wednesday should be around 73. All right, so here's my Thanksgiving Day planner. Gobble, gobble. Temperatures 52 if we're lucky. We're talking about a west-northwest wind, generally 10 to 15, if not 10 to 20. You'll notice it gets blustery at night. So I would call, let's be real, 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock on Thanksgiving. This is like sitting on the couch, if you're not doing dishes, sitting on the couch, maybe eating leftovers, right? You're in the 40s during leftovers, period. Watching sports, football, whatever you're watching online or on television, 5 to 8, that would be classic leftover time. But if you're eating somewhere between 11 and 2, temperatures outside, maybe you're throwing the football around, waiting for food to be prepared. Always be thankful for the people that are making that meal, whoever that might be. I always like to pick up the slack. I do as many of the dishes and take out the trash as I can. But anyway, 52, whatever you're thankful for, be thankful that we don't have any serious weather issues, that's for sure. Now, this is probably one of your favorite maps because I'm going to reveal what's concerning me tonight. And it has nothing to do with us locally, but maybe I could reach one or two of you watching right now that have family connections through Chicago, Detroit, or Indianapolis. Let me repeat that. If you have family connections or a flight that's going through Chicago, Detroit, Indianapolis, it's coming home that might be an issue. Let me explain. This is the map I've been showing for several days now, going back to last week. This is actually representative of 5 p.m. on Travel Wednesday. I mean, what else can I call it? Travel Wednesday, the big Wednesday travel day. And around 5 o'clock, people get out of work early so they can avoid some of the traffic, but that's pretty hard to avoid. But where is it snowing at 5 p.m. on Wednesday? Well, I can see it's probably snowing around Chicago, right? Around Detroit. But it's what's going to be forming over here that needs to be watched on the way home. Because clearly the rain is ending for us. We're over here, Hampton Roads, North Carolina looks fine at 5 o'clock Wednesday afternoon. But let me take you to Thanksgiving at 5 p.m., right? What's happened? Well, I see a little bit of lake enhancement. I used to work in Rochester, so you got some snow streamers coming off of Lake Erie, Lake Ontario. No big deal. They can handle it. Nothing too alarming here. But let's take you to Friday at 5 p.m. What do you notice now? Ooh, looky. Is this a new storm forming? It is. Oh, do you think that's going to have some implications, perhaps on travel for people going home on Saturday and Sunday? I do. Now you figure out where I'm going with this. This could actually make for 6 to 12, maybe 18. I wouldn't be surprised if we got 18 inches of snow. What would really be messy is if it changes into a mix. And that's the worst, because then you're talking about sleet, freezing rain, and snow. Watch this as this goes forward. Now, this is Friday. This is Saturday. Tell me where you think. I'll just take this full screen. It's going to be snowing very hard based on this. This is the European model. Suggested right over Peoria, Indianapolis, possibly into Cleveland, although they can handle it. They're used to snow. But Detroit and the Chicago airport. That's what concerns me tonight. Because somebody who has a layover, maybe you're going to LA, maybe you're going to Dallas, but you have a connecting flight to Chicago on Saturday night, and you're like, I didn't know it was going to be this bad. I would have never left. Well, that's something to think about. We got to be grateful for what we get, but this is what I see. I see a real problem between Peoria, Indianapolis, Chicago, and Detroit. That's Saturday. Right? Let me take you to 11 o'clock Saturday night. This is just getting worse. It's coming down probably 1 to 2 inches or more an hour in places like Detroit, Indianapolis, around Chicago, and it's going to slow down air traffic. Oh, that's not good. Now, what does this have to do with Hampton Roads? Not a thing. But you might have some family in these airports around Chicago, Detroit, or connecting flights. And I'm just wanting to be first warning. Because I have viewers who watch me from Oklahoma City. I got people who watch me from Knoxville. I don't know where you're going this holiday. I just want you to be safe. So if I can give you a heads up, you can get to Grandma's house, no problem. But coming home Saturday night, Sunday, got a problem. Got a problem. And it will make national news, I'm sure. We got 6 million people expected to travel this Thanksgiving weekend by air and 73 million by car. But maybe when this word gets out, maybe there'll be more on car and less millions in the air. I don't know, because this Chicago thing could look pretty ugly. Just wanted to throw that out there. We're not done. We got more to talk about. It's 7:51. If you're on the call, would love to say hi to you. Jessica Lynn. Oh, it's so good to see Jessica Lynn. Haven't seen her in a while. She says, happy almost Thanksgiving. Episode 99, you've made it, Jessica. And I don't know if you're aware, but we are giving away free cheesy bread. Isn't that cool? You don't have to even purchase anything. That doesn't seem right. That's called generosity. No purchase necessary, 1 per household, free cheesy bread. Looks just like what you see in the upper right corner with some pizza cup or marinara sauce. Looks great. And how do I get it? What do I have to do? All you have to do is use the promo code WTKR cheesy. It's delicious. I might be ordering some of that tonight. If not tonight, certainly tomorrow. Because some of you will be like, I'm so tired of turkey. Is this work on Friday or Saturday? It does. But because it's only the first 100, there might not be any left. It really depends on how quickly you act on the deal of the week. All right, so we've talked about the snow. This is my concern. Saturday night, Sunday morning, it's going to slow down air traffic, might bring it to a halt when you get 6 to 12 inches of snow, maybe some isolated 18-inch amounts, because it's going to wind up like that. And it's only going to be rain here in Hampton Roads, so it's not an issue per se, unless it's a family member or you perhaps are traveling. By the way, low temperature this morning was 41. That occurred at 6:45 in the morning. But it was really cold in Emporia. Look at this, 28. You can't put out a number. If you just say the low is going to be 41, everybody, and you're like, oh, that's hogwash. It was 30 in Suffolk. It was 41 in Williamsburg. That's not continuity. There's 44 Manual. There's a lot of variability when you live in Hampton Roads. And I can tell you the 41-degree temperature we experienced, at least it was 10 degrees colder in Chesapeake, but 41 occurred at 6:45 this morning, and we did manage to hit 57. That was my forecast. 57 for high today from last night. I did work on Sunday, but 57 high here, and it was 61 Chesapeake and 60 Gloucester, Hampton, 62 in Franklin. Elizabeth City hit 62 today, and that occurred precisely at 2:12 this afternoon. Satellite radar not showing much, although I suspect those high clouds are beginning to advance. Many of them are high clouds, and they'll continue to filter in. High pressure is going to buckle. This ridge of high pressure, I like to call a big bubble, no trouble, and really we're going to continue on that theme. Oops, didn't mean to do that. As we continue on this theme, it's going to wrap around clockwise rather, as we're continuing to see this influence begin to weaken, and more of the clouds in this trough that's moving through Kentucky, West Virginia will add some extra clouds tomorrow. The current conditions, typically what we call the METARs, these are what you're seeing here. They don't always account for things that are below 5,000 feet. So, or maybe if they think it's clear below 5,000 feet, most of the clouds that are moving in now are probably closer to 20 to 30,000 feet because they are the cirrus variety. But they will continue to increase those high clouds while we sleep. Now, here's the temperature trend. Do you need any more evidence besides the turkey? Are you telling me it's 72 on Wednesday, but only 45 on Friday? That's it. That's it. And there's a 20-degree drop Wednesday to Thursday. So this is why I'm saying if the normal high this time of year is 59, we've got a long way to go. Well, we have a long way to go up. We're gonna surge upward, and then we're gonna plunge accordingly because of the double cold front situation that's developing and will be unfolding. Got some other notes. Belinda Smith wants to say hi. She says safe travels, everybody. Thank you so much, Belinda. I don't know if I've seen you on here before, but I'm glad to see your smiling face and want to hope that you have a special holiday with Thanksgiving and all the trimmings, and make sure that everybody takes in, what was I going to say? Make sure everybody has that opportunity to express what they're thankful for. I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for those of you who watch First Warning Live. I really do appreciate your time on these Monday through Thursdays. Typically, I will not live stream on Thanksgiving, even though I will be working. I don't want to distract you from your family and your friends in your neighborhood. By the way, normal high 59. Now we're going to see warm air, just illustrated. Then it's going to get cold, and then the cold air is going to retreat a little bit. But I do think it's going to come back. And if you need more evidence of this, look no further. Prepare for the cold in that 30-day time frame. Now, I've talked about this ad nauseum last week. I said there's probably going to be a sharp drop in temperature when we get the effects of what we call the sudden stratospheric warming. And I showed some maps of what that looks like between 6 and 31 miles in the sky. So if you look at this map from NOAA, please look at the date here. The date's over here. It's the 18th of November. You can see that the little orange area here, because warm air rises, and if we all remember from middle school what that means, warm air rises, cold air sinks. So if it rises rapidly, it's going to drop rapidly. And it's going to take a while for the models to figure this all out once it comes back down to Earth, because cold air will sink fast. It usually takes 30 to 45 days. So if this was, as you can see here, the 18th of November, do you think it would get worse down the road by the 18th of December? I think it will. When we looked at the 19th of November, we started to see some red in here. Red would mean it's even hotter in the stratosphere. Warm air rises, cold air sinks. And that means the bitter chill might even be more pronounced in that 19th of December, maybe closer to Christmas. But the real telltale sign was November 20th. It really turned red here on the 20th. If you look at today's map, it's still very orange, which means that we'll probably get a surge sometime around Christmas. And I know that some of you will like to say, hey, that means we're going to get does that mean we're going to get a white Christmas? Not necessarily, but it could awfully be really cold the days preceding Christmas and the days after. And if you get a storm system, you need cold air to get some snow. So maybe, just maybe, miracles like that can happen if and only if you're on Team Snow. So I just want to say, yes, I still believe it's going to be sharply colder, but it's going to take to the middle of the second half of December. We're going to get some cold days this Friday, this Saturday, but then it's going to warm back up, kind of like it ebbs and flows. But this is all going to lock and reload. It kind of like watching it, it'll eventually dip back down, I think, by time we get closer to Christmas. Now, as far as the Arctic air, we talked about this polar vortex. It rotates counterclockwise, but there's usually a displacement when you have a sudden stratospheric event. It goes in reverse. I said, cha-cha now, y'all. The Arctic air comes surging down, and it can also put a real stress on you and your heating costs. Firewood will come in great demand because it's so cold, they could be probably close to zero in Minnesota or parts of the Great Lakes. We'll have to wait and see on that. High temperature today, 57. Normal high is 78. This is, I believe, the 5th. Counted the 5th day. We've been in the 50s this month. I always like to say, why be normal? We've had only one day at normal. And of course, the normals keep dropping as we head toward December and into January, but 61 was normal for this particular day. Today was 57. We've had now 14 days below normal, and we've had now a total of 9 days above normal. Several of them have been in the 70s. So if we hit 73 or 72 rather on Wednesday, that should not surprise you. We're running about 8 degrees colder now in Suffolk as compared to this time last night. 7 degrees colder in Virginia Beach and 3 degrees colder in Kitty Hawk. Here are the current readings as of 8 o'clock. It's 7:59, but my computer does a great job in updating us. You can see it maybe 50 in Tangier Island, but it's 46 Elizabeth City, currently 39 in Franklin. I've got some other notes from you. I got Jessica Lynn is on here. I got Lynn Old, Marilyn Bell on here. Ivan Kidd wants to say hello. I haven't said hi to Ivan. Great to see you, Ivan. Hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. I don't know, what is your favorite Thanksgiving dish? Is there one that you like besides the turkey? That's obviously some prefer ham, some prefer to pardon the turkey. I get that, but if there's a side dish that you really like, anybody can participate. Let me know. I'll give a shout out. But I can tell you this: if you do get tired of the meal, you can always make sure that you pick up some of the free cheesy bread. We mentioned the WTKR cheesy, but we're also giving away free pizza on specifically Wednesday this week. Easy to sign up if you'd like to have your name in the drawing. It is randomly selected. Go to our webpage, WTKR.com/Marcos, and there are 6 locations now, 3 in Virginia Beach, 2 Chesapeake, and 1 Norfolk, that are participating in that free cheesy bread. You can't go to just any Marcos to get the free cheesy bread or the free pizza. You have to go to these participating contest locations. And if you're interested in a Magnifico pepperoni, maybe you've never tried their pizza, it's fantastic. The Pizzoli is phenomenal as well, but we appreciate you participating if you're watching us for the first time. All right, so temperatures right now, 37 in Ahoskie. We have 44 in Williamsburg, beautiful Williamsburg, and 50 in Kitty Hawk. 43 currently in Manio on Roanoke Island. Now, tonight's lows will drop into the 30s and 40s, about 43 Virginia Beach, 44 Cape Charles. Edenton should also drop down to a pair of 4s at 44. Gatesville about 38. And 43 for Norfolk is my expectation. But it's interesting to see how the graph model really pushes us into the upper 60s as early as 11 a.m. So if you get a southerly wind, which I suspect 10 to 15, perhaps we overperform and get in around 72 tomorrow. Wouldn't it be nice to have 2 70-degree days? That's how this model would suggest we're going. Now, if you're traveling tonight, if you have family on the road, maybe you're waiting for someone to arrive at Norfolk International. There's clearly a lot of rain across the heartland of the country. Pretty quiet, though, from California to the Pacific Northwest. I do see snow up in Montana, parts of North Dakota dealing with snow showers tonight, along with some rain around Bismarck. You can see around Minneapolis it's raining. Chicago's got some rain, but Chicago, I think, will have the worst of their weather come Saturday night and into Sunday, just days away from now. Still raining around Kansas City, also Memphis, coming down toward Nashville. They're getting some rain, and it's just a matter of time before they see some rain in the Knoxville, Oak Ridge area, possibly even Cookeville. Clearly, there's not a whole lot to see on the East Coast. We're still waiting for those clouds to increase, and they will eventually. Last time we had measurable rain was Saturday. What was happening on Saturday? Oh, I know. Oh, I was at the Mistletoe Marketplace in Smithfield. Love that place. Had a great time. There was like 80 vendors. But also, I was at the Grand Illumination parade. That was almost like 2 hours long. I was capturing as many pictures as I could get. My cell phone was losing charge. I would have taken more, but it was a great time. If you were out at the Grand Illumination Tour, check out my Facebook post. I have about 50-some pictures on there that I think you'd enjoy, especially if you are familiar with this parade. Again, this is what it looked like years ago, but I've got some cool pictures of the floats from the Illumination parade last Saturday. All right, so let me get back to the weather. We were talking about the rainfall. Here are the current readings again: 37 in Suffolk, it's 39 in Newport News. It's 8:03, by the way. Right now it's 50 in Moyock, 43 in Manio, and 47 in Kiptopeke, 44 in Surrey. Temperatures in Knoxville, 59, significantly warmer in East Tennessee tonight as compared to Virginia Beach, only 41, because we don't have a whole lot in the way of clouds, but Atlanta, 67, Myrtle Beach, 61, while Hatteras right now is at 52, Pittsburgh at 45 degrees, just to give you an idea of where we are at this present moment. If you look around the country, you can clearly see there's some cold air diving into the Rockies, then it retreats a little bit, maybe cool off to areas around New England, but this will all have a chance to come down. It'll drop like the shoe that's going to drop, I think will arrive by middle to latter part of this month. I think we're still on track for that. If you need more evidence, look at the blue ooze. I like to show these 850 millibar temperatures for a reason. They're measured at 5,000 feet, but they're a very good indication. By the time we hit Thanksgiving, there's a lot of cold air. We'll be struggling to reach 52. Most of the day will be spent in the 40s. And dare I say, by the time we hit Friday, high of 45, but because it's windy, it's going to feel like it's in the 30s all day. You're going to feel like it's that cold. And you're going to probably be, if you're shopping, going, man, can we buy some mittens and gloves and earmuffs? Yes, maybe a warm winter coat, because this, I think, is just the beginning of what we're going to see later on in December. But this represents actually 12 noon on Thanksgiving Day. Oops, how did I do that? I keep pushing the wrong button. But this is what I'm going to continue to focus on, is this cold air that's going to plunge down and have a big impact here. You can see it kind of reloads a little bit and turns white. Ooh, that white's the really cold stuff. So there will be surges of this, and maybe the next round will come in, maybe not December 4th, but eventually by the time we get closer to Christmas, be prepared. It's going to be cold. Now, the Climate Prediction Center, to be fair, shows several shades of blue here with below normal temperatures in the upper Mississippi Valley. So anywhere from the Great Lakes back toward the Dakotas, Minnesota, very, very cold relative to the normal. Now, this represents the first week of December, when it's probably pretty toasty for Florida. No big surprise there. But like I said, much like the waves at the beach, you get low tide in the morning, you get high tide in the afternoon, and it all happens on the same beach in the same day. Sometimes twice in the same day. Sometimes two high tides in the same day. So what I'm saying is, this will come back. This is just one piece of it, but it is priming the pump for what will likely be a very cold December overall. That's what I'm expecting down the road. Now, Eastern Shore, high temperatures tomorrow, about 62 in Chincoteague, Bloxham 63, Onancock low 60s here, Exmoor, Cape Charles about 63, 62. Lots of clouds. I'll call it partly sunny to mostly cloudy. I think you're going to find some ebb and flow. Evidence of that will be the Futurecast, which is coming up. But I do think you're looking at a partly sunny to mostly cloudy Tuesday. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 60s from Manio at 67, Nags Head and Kill Devil Hills at 67, and Duck about 65 degrees. If we move further south, down toward Rodanthe, temperatures also in the 60s, but Hatteras and Ocracoke should be nudging 70 come afternoon tomorrow. Pretty quiet there. Maybe a few sprinkles or showers coming in at night. Understanding the severe risk, there is quite a bit of this going on tonight. In yellow, the scattered severe storm risk is focused where? Houston area, possibly central Louisiana. If you have family down here, Houston and Alexandria and areas into Mississippi have probably a better chance of severe weather between now and 7 a.m. tomorrow, and there could be even some areas maybe back toward, nothing going on the East Coast, but back toward maybe parts of Tennessee come tomorrow. So Tuesday, best chance for severe weather is going to be focused in Montgomery, maybe around Monroeville, Birmingham, and I do believe Chattanooga is included in the the marginal risk, which is level 1. The green areas would represent isolated severe storms. So it includes Atlanta, it includes Knoxville, where I lived for 15 years. It includes Cleveland, Athens, and Harriman as well, and parts of the Great Smoky Mountains. Back home, nothing to be worried about, and come Wednesday, that severe threat looks like it diminishes rapidly across the board. So that's where we're going to be, I think, on Wednesday. Now, let me show you the Futurecast. Again, we're talking about some high clouds now. They're only going to increase as we head towards sunrise tomorrow. This represents 11 o'clock. Notice the winds are pretty light. They're not moving much, but they might be shifting directions. By 7 a.m., We got some thin spots, yes. This is where I would argue this is probably partly sunny to mostly cloudy. There might be more clouds in Richmond and Williamsburg, but if we move this a little bit forward to noontime, you can see if I take this full screen, there's probably a mostly cloudy look to the sky, but there's no rain. So even though the clouds are there, I'm not too worried or concerned about rain during the day. Clouds thin out again around 4 o'clock. Winds are still about 10 to 15 out of the south, but the rain does filter back into the peninsulas. I'm looking at Middlesex, maybe Matthews County by 8 p.m. tomorrow, maybe even areas around Surrey or Sussex County back toward Franklin as well. So we'll be watching this rain. Again, nothing heavy, nothing widespread, just widely scattered, about 30% chance. Now, come Wednesday, best chance of rain is going to be in the morning. Some suggest, like it does here, that it's at 5 in the morning. Some would say 6 or 7. But where you see red, probably a good indication that there's going to be some thunder or some convection here. So it will be fleeting, but it has the potential to produce a thunderstorm with the passing front. It kind of spreads over the eastern shore, over toward Chincoteague, maybe Onancock, Exmoor at 6, sliding back toward Williamsburg, and even further south, maybe toward Ahoskie or even Bertie County with a few showers by 7. So that's the kind of the situation. That's the bulk of it, right? Even by the time you hit midday, there's 11. Most of it's pretty much light and widely scattered. The rest of the afternoon, if you're leaving, let's say at 3, you get off of work, got to get on the highway, Aldrich, I'm getting down the road. If that's the case, we want to make sure that you realize the worst of the rain's over. So we've got a few sprinkles left, but then the clearing skies will be the real story after 11 o'clock because we have a sunny outlook, mostly sunny, for Thanksgiving. So tomorrow morning, we're in the 40s, but that's a little deceiving because there are also 30s to the west. Inland Virginia, inland North Carolina, easily in the mid to upper 30s from Suffolk to Franklin to Wakefield, while we should be closer to 40 in Gloucester, but 52 in Duck. So the Outer Banks will still be probably a little warmer spot, while it could be 10 degrees colder in Elizabeth City at 42, while Duck's at 52. Low temperatures tomorrow, about 36 Cortland, 42 for Hertford, about 36 for Melfa, Matthews about 39. Tuesday afternoon will be in the mid to upper 60s. It wouldn't surprise me if we see some 70s, just like the variability we had this morning and today. We'll get that again tomorrow. 67 Williamsburg, expect about 73 for Windsor and Edenton, and about 62 for Cape Charles and Chincoteague. So our highs will vary depending on what part of the Hampton Roads, Northeast North Carolina you live. Moyock about 70, Chesapeake about 70, and Gatesville about 72 degrees. Here's your first warning, WTKR News 3 7-day forecast. Clouds increase tomorrow, 30% chance at night, scattered showers mainly in the morning, maybe a rumble of thunder. But look at that, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, nothing but sunshine and chilly wind. I still think the winds here are going to be strong enough where it might be 10 to 25. That'll cut through you. It'll feel like it's in the 30s the whole day. You'll struggle to get to 45, but when you're starting off at a deficit of 33 and then 32, you're going to see your breath, right? You're going to see your teeth chatter, and you're going to be shopping going, I didn't expect this. It was 70 just a few days ago. Yeah, well, be prepared because Friday and Saturday will be the coldest 2 days. And again, we're back rebounding like a rubber band into the 60s Sunday and Monday. If you've got some other thoughts, questions, let me check in with you. I'm always interested to know. Oh, I got Taj. Taj wants to know if I need more pozzolis. Oh, they're there, my friend. They're there. But the cheesy bread is free. So we're going to give away 100 cheesy breads this week. And it's just today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. And we're going to give away 22 pizzas on Wednesday. That's 12 to one person because they're going to get what, as you know this, Taj, you know they get a pizza for a year certificate. So they get one large, one topping pizza every month for free. They don't have to pay for it. It's like a punch card. So it's November, you check box here, you'll get a punch card in December, and you get a free pizza right through October of 2026. So that's pretty sweet. Your name could be drawn. If you do decide to participate, simply go to our website, WTKR.com/Marcos, and the promo code for the cheesy bread is our call letters for TV, WTKR Cheesy. It's right over here. And you can have some free cheesy bread. Tonight, you could simply go there and pick it up. But this is our webpage to sign up for the free pizza. This is the place you need to go. So obviously a lot to take in. But as we were talking about the 7-day forecast, I wanted to end with some happy shots. This is very recent. This was as of yesterday morning. Chicks Beach from Lisa, capturing the beauty of what it's like to live here. And if you're watching from far away, maybe this is home for you and you get homesick when you see pictures like this. But Lisa, thank you for capturing that photo. I really think it has a lot of personality, and so does this one from Sandra. Kill Devil Hill sunrise this morning. I mean, how more recent can you get than this morning? Look at all the fishing poles there. I love it. And this sunrise this morning did come up precisely at about 6:54. So we're now about 6 minutes before 7 when that sun comes up this time of year. And lastly, a very recent picture. This came down at, I think, 3:30 or 4. But Katrina Gay captured this from Port Warwick's Christmas tree in the gazebo, I guess, the pavilion in Newport News. She said the Christmas tree is up and we're ready for the holidays. So Katrina, thank you for sharing that great picture with us as well. Many of you in Newport News know probably right where that is, and you could probably go by and check out the tree. Now again, first warning forecast 68 tomorrow. Could nudge 70 pretty easily with the wind. Low to mid 70s expected on Wednesday, but the shoe's going to drop on Thursday. I think it's going to really drop for anyone that has to go to Chicago or connect to Chicago Saturday night into Sunday. We're just going to expect some rain showers here. It's not a problem here, but I thought I would be remiss. I would feel bad about, oh, why didn't you tell people about that? That could be 6 to 12, maybe 18 inches, but if it mixes in with sleet and freezing rain, it could be even worse. And people who are stranded in an airport coming home, that's terrible. Nobody wants to think about that, but that's what I'm looking at right now. It's still days away. I'll fine tune it, give you some more updates on it tomorrow, time permitting. But obviously it is now 8:15. Appreciate all of your comments. Anyone have some notes on what they're going to do for their special dish for Thanksgiving? What is your favorite dish? Great evening for First Warning Live. Thank you, Taj. Thank you for watching episode number 99. I can't believe time has flown that fast. And I got a note from Ivan Kidd, and Taj Brown is calling out, I guess, Lynn Oldham, Maryland. But Jessica Lynn was mentioning that it is almost Thanksgiving. She is absolutely right. Well, just remember, it doesn't matter if the weather is sunny or serious, really warm like it's going to be soon, or really cold, which is going to be later. Doesn't matter. Just remember, every day is a gift. And this is the one time a year you can express that to your neighbors, your friends, and your family at Thanksgiving dinner or supper. My name is David Aldrich. We'll see you here tomorrow night, and thanks so much for your time. Take care.